Hey, everyone. It is the Rose Show Live, and I'm so excited that you are here and joining me for the State of Visibility Address. We are broadcasting live across several platforms, and I'm really excited because I'm seeing my people come in, and this is pretty dope. I'm seeing Michelle is here, who's watching from Facebook. A new friend of mine, Dan. I love how he shares and shows up on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for being here. Good evening. And one of my clients, Lori Smith, is here. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited and pumped. Listen, I have a lot of content to get to. Like, these are all my pages of notes. And we started doing this State of Visibility Address about 5 years ago because you guys told me I was the first lady of visibility. And we started coming in here and talking about and really forecasting some predictions and some things that you can see when it comes to the next year. And it's really an opportunity for you to get some, free coaching from me, if you will, and really start to plan your strategy as it goes into 2024. So again, I am so glad that you guys are here. I'm Rashonda Pratt, known in the digital streets as the Rose Show Live, communication strategist and content producer, helping you to be seen, heard, and paid because your visibility is power. Now, listen, I'm going to break down some key factors for you to focus to enhance your visibility in 2024. But before we dive in, like I said, I'm currently streaming on various platforms right now, and I'm glad that you're joining in on the conversation. So make sure to leave a comment like Naomi did, because I will be popping up your comments during our discussion. Also, make sure that if you have any questions or anything like that, pose the questions. But I'm going to take some breaks in between presenting the content to answer those questions, and I will highlight those. Okay, so if I miss it, I'll try my best to highlight those and then go back for the Q&A. Now, if you're here and you're settled in, you have your notebook, you have your favorite beverage, okay, you know someone else who can really benefit from being a part of this conversation. So if you can do me a favor, do me a solid, and go ahead and invite them to be a part of this conversation as well. And so that way they can beef up their visibility in the next year as well. Now, go ahead and tag them, but also go ahead and hit share to your profile. But before you hit share, just hit repost. I want you to tell people what you hope to benefit from the conversation, why you are here, why you took the time to hang out with me, and go ahead and put that and type that before you hit the reshare, because your insights and your engagement really make this a worthwhile experience and event, and really makes this valuable. So again, let me just check in real quick to see who is here. Again, we're streaming right now on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, and if you haven't already done so, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're also live streaming right now on LinkedIn and Facebook, the Rose Show Live Facebook page. So again, I love it. Michelle, I got to put your comment back up. I missed the live in-person version of these. I'm just putting that out there. Maybe we'll bring that back. I like that too, Michelle. I thought about doing that for this year's State of Visibility Address, but my 6-year-old just wouldn't allow it. So here we are. Here we are. Okay. Also, this is a little disclaimer. Okay. A significant portion of what I'll be discussing and sharing in the State of Visibility Address is just advice for you to take into account. Okay, while formulating your action plan for the next year or the upcoming year. These insights are drawn from my own experiences, extensive research, and conversation with fellow consultants. It's important to note that I can't make any guarantees, right? Like, if you do this, it's going to skyrocket your visibility. I cannot make any guarantees without a comprehensive understanding of your specific marketing and visibility objectives. Okay. Do what you will with that information. Okay. Dan, thank you. Thank you so much. See, this is why I love Dan. Dan says, hey, Ro, you may want to move your cam down an inch. The lower third is cutting off your chin, and it will look better for repurposing. Dan the man. That's what I'm going to start calling you, Dan the man. I appreciate that. And I did play around with this beforehand. But Dan, thank you for coming through, because I am going to repurpose this. All right. God bless you, Dan. I appreciate it. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Who's ready to dive in? Who's ready to dive in? I see all my people who are here. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. So as we get ready to rumble, this is the State of Visibility address. And I got some meaty stuff with you. Okay. Yes, it does look a whole lot better. I have some meaty stuff to share with you. And I think I have about 8 or 9 things to share. And I'm pretty stoked. So let's go ahead and get started. The number one thing that you want to look out for as we go into the next year, okay? Here's what you need to look out for. AI. First on the agenda, no surprise, artificial intelligence or AI will continue to be a dominant force. Ladies and gentlemen, the the idea of ignoring this, the idea of saying, I'm just going to figure it out later. What's this chat GPT thing that everybody's talking about? I'm just going to figure out in the next 2 years. Those days are long gone. This year, we've witnessed a numerous amount of companies launching their own AI software, like giants like Google, Microsoft, and even Meta leading the charge. In fact, Meta is taking AI to the next level by introducing what they call special purpose bots. Instead of merely competing with ChatGPT, they're introducing Coco, who can dance, Max for cooking, and Victor for training. And soon, these characters might be even able to have a voice or vocal conversation with you. Now, I had an experience with this. I was able to get in on the early onset of when Meta AI first rolled out. And at the time, I was planning my 16-year-old Sweet 16 birthday party. And I encountered an AI bot that was a mom coach. A mom coach. And I just want to play around with this and see what it's like. And so I asked her a question, told her that, I'm feeling very anxious. My daughter's turning 16 and we're planning this party, but I'm feeling very anxious because she's 16 and this brings all the things and all the mom feelings that I'm feeling. And this is what the AI chatbot said to me. Hey, Dee, good to see you. Mom, I know what you mean. This can be a very trying time, but let's not focus on our the feelings that we may be having. Let's reframe that and focus on the good feelings you have with planning the party. So tell me some of the cool things that you're going to have at the party. Y'all, it was like having a therapist. That was a chat bot. I could not believe it. I was like, wait, what? Game changer. So this means as technology advances, so does the urgency to regulate it. Employers are already leveraging technology to combat people who are embellishing their resumes and job applications. Just this past week, I had a conversation with one of my friends who is hiring for a new person, new executive assistant on her team. And she got on social media and told people in her Instagram stories, hey, folks, do me a favor. Stop using ChatGPT to send your cover letter and your resume, because she got a lot of the very same thing. So a lot of companies, right, are starting to develop software, more AI technology to spot when you are misusing artificial intelligence. This is why it's really important for all of us. And I really started to hone in on this, ladies and gentlemen, this year. It's really becoming increasingly important for all of us as a company to develop a communications plan that includes responsible AI usage. This is really where the concept of ethical AI comes into place. And this is a topic that our company is actively addressing and working on. And we're going to share more about this later. Because what I realized 20 years working behind the scenes as a television news producer has exposed me to a couple of things: media law, transparency, sourcing, attribution. And to the normal Joe Schmo, right, who hasn't gone to journalism school, worked in the TV industry, those things may seem foreign. But I'm seeing a thoroughfare, I'm seeing a through line here that as we go into this AI technology, it is going to be increasingly important for you to learn AI because it continues to dominate, but also for you to create what is your strategy and what is your plan as a company and how you're going to use it. So going into the new year, we're going to have some tools that will be available to you as it talks about ethical AI. Number 2, video will reign and reshape marketing strategies. No surprise there. I mean, I'm live streaming right now on video. And if you guys know me, you know how much I love live stream and long form video. And I love this. Lori says, spot on. Communication plans are extremely vital in organizations. Thanks, Lori, for your ad. I appreciate it. So, due to the increasing dominance of AI, it's going to be critical for all of us who create video content to adapt. Here's what I want to say about this. Because so many people are gravitating towards AI, there's the mid journey, you can create avatars and all those things. It's going to be increasingly more important for you to show up on camera. Matter of fact, in some of the data that I've been doing some research about this, I have found that people, companies, matter of fact, are looking to, you know what, hire people, but you have to go and do a job interview on video. Yeah, not chat GPT, right? You now have to answer questions using video. And so if we're understanding that video content is going to really be important as we move forward, that means we got to have a strategy around that. So I strongly believe in the principle of when the industry zigs, you zag. I'm not suggesting that we should avoid using AI together. No, we must not overlook that fact, okay? But we know that people crave real time engagement, hence the reason why you're here. So, live streaming, short form video, interactive video formats will play a pivotal role in effectively engaging with your audience. Video. So, if you are still trying to avoid it, don't any longer, right? It's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. It's happening, so you can't avoid it. I mean, look at this comment from D, who's watching us on YouTube. This is true. My last job interview was done via video. It's the wave of the future. And then they're going to take those videos, and you know what they're looking for? Not just how you communicated and answered the questions, but they're also looking to see your essence and presence on camera. They want to see a little bit of personality. I mean, much alike what we're looking for here in the online world, right? So, the other thing why I think video is going to continue to reign is because we've already trained people for this. People are accustomed to video content. So, really, it's essential that you deliver what they're looking for. People are used to this. This is why I loved video starting off, because working 20 years behind the scenes as a television news producer, I knew that people were already accustomed to certain things, right? We've been trained through television, right? And now we've been trained in the video space. So give people what they want. Here's the other thing that's going to dominate in 2024 and beyond. And this one I found to be so interesting, guys. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Check this out. The creator economy will be viewed as a viable career path. The creator economy. Remember that? Remember in recent years, if you had a conversation with any child age 9 or younger about their future aspirations, many would tell you without a shadow of a doubt, proclaiming they wanted to be a YouTuber. And back then, when we would hear that, we would chuckle, we would probably snarl, or we'll probably scoff at the fact that they want to be a YouTuber. However, in the wake of what happened in 2020, with the surge in the creator economy evolving into a $1 billion industry, right? As reported by Forbes, it's now changing the perception of how we see the creator economy. So now universities are recognizing the significance of the creator economy, and they're introducing curriculum in this upcoming year. That means not only will students gain insight into the business aspect of in the influencer space, but they'll also refine the essential creativity and style required for those being in front of the camera. I just want to sit that there for a second. Michelle says that was my youngest son up through the 7th grade. Here's how serious this is. Many of you know that I have a course that I've done in partnership with LinkedIn. It's a LinkedIn learning course called How to Be Seen and Heard as a Video Creator. Right now, there are about 5 to 6 universities that have that content or that course as a part of their curriculum. 5 or 6 universities. That curriculum on how to be seen and heard as a video creator. What am I telling you? So if academia could embrace this trend, what's your problem? The creator economy is expected to project to a staggering $500 billion by 2027. And yet, I'm still talking to some of you, will not look at anybody's name, will not call anybody out, who still will not get on camera. Thanks. Still won't get on camera. Or this one is my favorite too. Or the people who sit here and say, "Phooey on this, it doesn't work. Organic social is lame. People are tired of social media, blah, 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 blah." And I find this to be very interesting. Yeah, D, it's only 4 years away. I find this very interesting because I remember the story of televangelist Billy Graham. And when he started preaching the gospel using television, many people told Billy Graham that television was a fad. Let's go let that sit there for a second. Television. How many TVs do you have in your house? It's a fad. And so I'm telling you that if we can already see this and project this, then this is what you should be saying to yourself. Okay, what do I need to do with this information? If you're a person who is a content creator, I'm a content producer, and you're constantly showing up, right? Does your local university need your skill set? I'm just wondering because they're saying they're turning this into a college courses. In fact, in my city, Columbia, South Carolina, the University of South Carolina announced a marketing course this year totally about Taylor Swift. Course is already full. Do what you will with that. What I'm telling you is you no longer have the right to remain silent, and you no longer have the right to remain on the sidelines. It's just not helping you. It's not. I also recommended that they do one for Beyonce. I'm just saying, just make it fair. All right. All right. The platform to watch out for is not TikTok. Don't come for me. I love TikTok. I'm on TikTok. But the platform not to look out for in 2024, it's not TikTok. Anybody want to take a guess? I'm going to let you take a guess before I say what it is. What do you guys think is going to be the gold rush platform in 2024? Where do you think people are going to oh my gosh, you got to be over there. Are you not hanging out over there? You guys remember when we did that with Clubhouse in 2020? People were just like, oh my gosh, you're not in the Clubhouse. You didn't get the invite yet. Oh my gosh, we're in rooms. We're doing it big. Is Clubhouse even still around? People still hanging on Clubhouse? I'm just wondering. Michelle says LinkedIn. Okay, who else? Take a guess. What is going to be the platform to be on in 2024, according to experts? And I would say, I agree with this. Naomi's like LinkedIn. You ladies are correct. LinkedIn. I knew Natalie was going to give the fire because she loves LinkedIn. And in fact, Natalie, you guys follow her. She is a top voice on LinkedIn. There's some folks still over in the Clubhouse. It was just too much for me. It was a lot. Yep. LinkedIn. Peep this. Marketer Dakota Robertson has dubbed LinkedIn as the social media gold rush of 2024. But here's the thing. LinkedIn is not what you may have traditionally thought, right? It has often been viewed as a rather dull, business-focused social media platform. However, the reality is that LinkedIn is hot on the block. Okay. It has evolved significantly, and it now boasts features like live streaming. I'm live streaming right now to LinkedIn. It also has audio rooms, much like what some of you guys are used to in Clubhouse, and a wealth of free courses through its LinkedIn Learning program. Plus, if you are looking to connect with the CEO of your favorite brand, chances are they're active on this platform. Now, here's why Dakota Robertson says that this is a golden opportunity for you right now. Right now is the best time to hop on the LinkedIn party train because the secret is not a lot of people are there right now. People, and I've seen this, I've been doing some research for one of my corporate clients, and we were working on a project. And I can't begin to tell you how many CEOs and how many people I were finding. And I was just like, oh my gosh, they just have a LinkedIn, but they're not active. They're not doing it. They're just, it's just a holding spot. I'm telling you, this is the best time for you to get in. And so, what do you do when you get on LinkedIn? Right? Because a lot of people are just like, I mean, I don't know what I do. Lester, I know you really enjoy LinkedIn. What do I do on LinkedIn? It seems so stuffy. You haven't been on there. There are people who are telling stories. There are people who are posting video content. Hey, JP, good to see you. There's a lot of great things that are happening on LinkedIn. So do what you do on the other platforms. Share your knowledge, your insights, and your expertise. What I have found on LinkedIn that works really well is you sharing something that makes somebody else better, right? So share what you know in order to make somebody else better and watch your platform grow. Look at that. I'm a poet and you didn't even know it. If you're just tuning in, I'm Rashonda Pratt, known in the digital streets as The Rose Show Live, communication strategist and content producer. And this is the State of Visibility Address. This is something that we do every year in our company where we come in and talk about predictions and forecasts for the next year so you can be seen, heard, and paid, my friend. If you're just joining in, do me a favor. Make sure to use the hashtag live. And if you're watching this in the replay, make sure to use the hashtag replay. As always, I want to tell you, make sure to tag another person and invite them to the conversation. I love that you guys are having so much fun talking about LinkedIn. I love the conversation that I'm seeing. And listen, I got to pop up this comment because it is so true. JP High Tech says, yes, LinkedIn is more of a community mindset. It is. It is. It's not like a one or done thing. And the thing that's so great is I have just leveraged and met some amazing people who want to have me on their podcast and thinking about collaborations and partnerships and all of those things. So really, guys, come over to LinkedIn. You're welcome. It's like Cheers. Everyone knows your name, and they're so glad that you came. All right, next, we're going through our list of things that you need to focus on or kind of add to your strategy when it comes to your visibility in 2024. And the other one, this one's a big one. Communication, my friends, is key. What do I mean by this? What do I mean by communication? With the rise of AI generated content, there is a growing demand for conversational content. Now, as a communicator, I take this really seriously. It is critical, it is crucial for you to take the time to understand your unique communication style. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, listen, all of us, thanks, JP, all of us have a unique communication style, and we have got to learn how to master this. This is so vitally important in a world and age of so much AI. And even with using AI, can I just say something? If you're not doing this, okay, please do this. When it comes to using AI, please read the content that it spits out. I know you put in a prompt, and that's a form of communication, making sure you ask the right questions, you're framing it right, all of those things. But go back and do your due diligence and say, does this sound like my voice? Does this sound like something I would say? Does this sound like words that I will use? Right? Because that speaks to your communication. Yes, Michelle, please don't just copy and paste. Your communication is almost like your fingerprint. There's certain words that I say, there are certain mannerisms that I have. And all of that speaks to my style of communication. So I really want to ask you in this new year, make a conscious effort to practice effective communication, not just with technology, but with fellow humans. Communication is paramount when it comes to you creating video, right? We're creating content, we're hosting live streams like I'm doing right here, communicating with your team. So make that one of your primary focuses, okay? One of your primary focus in 2024 is that as you are leading people, you're going to learn to be and let me just say this, it's not about being the most eloquent, right? You think of people who, I mean, I think of people who I think are really great presenters. One of them is a pastor, Bishop Michael Blue. He's amazing. I think about TD Jakes. I think about Sarah Jakes Roberts. I mean, she's amazing. She has a whole style and swagger about her. Lisa Nichols, Oprah Winfrey. I mean, she's an amazing storyteller. All of those things, right? I think about all those people. But one of the things that my husband encouraged me one time, he said, it's not really about just being eloquent. It's about the words that you use land with people, that they feel it. They see themselves in the story. They're like, oh, wow, this is my person. I want to connect with them. So it's really about taking this in a bigger stance and not just, I want to be eloquent, but is that who you really are? I mean, think about E.T., the hip hop preacher. I think that's what he calls himself still. I mean, how he started. He just in your face, straight shooter, right? Shoots from the hip. And I love that. And guess what? That resonates with the people who like that. And so the only reason why he can show up like that is because he understands who he is as a communicator. Lori, you said, say it again, nothing worse than reading an article that you know was AI generated. If you are not changing anything, just cite your sources. Geez, that goes back to ethical AI, goes back to being ethical. Naomi Washington, you can still use AI and have your authenticity as well. You need to know your voice to train AI. I love it, Naomi. I love it. And you're getting right into, listen, Nicole, good to see you. I saw your question. We're going to get to it here shortly. People connect with authenticity, not perfection. Can you say that again, Nicole, for the people in the back? I'll say it for you. People connect with authenticity, not perfection. Yes and amen. Right? So understanding who you are. And one of the things that we are committed to doing in this new year is we are committed to helping you understand how to be an effective communicator. This is not just about being a speaker, learning how to MC an event, but this is really understanding who you are. The essence. I tell you guys all the time that visibility is power, but visibility is an inside job. So this is about doing the inner work that produces the outward performance. And so we are putting together a cohort called the Power of Presence in the new year. And so if you want to get on that wait list, I want you to text the keyword talk to 803-879-5217. Again, text the keyword talk to 803-879-5217. This is for those of you who live in Canada and in the US. If you live outside of those boundaries, listen, just slide in my DMs because it's always open for you. And make sure that you get on this journey so we can help you become an effective communicator. I love it. All right. Again, text the keyword talk to 803-879-5217. You guys are doing a great job, an amazing audience. I love the engagement, and you guys are so awesome. So let's continue, shall we? All right, here we go. Marketing. We got to love marketing. Listen, as AI continues to integrate into the toolkit of business owners, the importance of voice and authenticity will rise. Voice and authenticity. Does that not just go back into understanding who you are as a communicator and authenticity? It's going to be paramount and important. So When you release your voice and you show up authentically, you know what happens? You're able to preserve or create trust with the people you are building community with. This is a part of your responsibility. So, in this ever changing landscape, the demand for authenticity with human content is so important. Live videos, podcasts, events, these things will surge because they help to build rather credibility. It's all about embracing transparency. Now, let's talk about transparency for a second, because I've said for many years, and I'll stand on this, transparency is the new currency. Transparency is not about telling all of your business. That's not what transparency is about. Transparency is about being honest. And if that requires you telling a story that you're healed with, I mean, come on. Transparency, okay? And we got to learn to embrace that. And when I think about transparency, being relatable, and most importantly, having that human touch, it's something you practice every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to take a pause because one of my favorite people is in the building. Listen, I love all of you. So don't think, oh, Shauna doesn't love me. I'm not her favorite. No, I love all of you. But this woman is absolutely amazing. I love how she shows up on LinkedIn. Ladies and gentlemen, throw up a round of applause for my friend, Cher Jones. I love you, Cher. Thank you so much for popping in, friend. Glad that you are here. She says, keep awesome comms gem flowing. I'm here for the Rose Show. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you, Cher Jones. Glad that you are here. And if you guys are on LinkedIn, make sure to connect to Cher. She has some amazing courses out there, and she just does primo content about building your brand while you're at work. You're welcome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for giving her a round of applause. I love it. I love it. Glad that you're here, friend. Awesome. So we have to make sure that the marketing moving forward is going to be hyper personal. You guys remember, people still connect to people. I know we got all this stuff going on, but people still connect to people. Tam, you're right on time, friend. So we got to make sure that we're keeping that front and center. Audiences are now going to crave more than ever genuine narratives, not generic content. Let me just go ahead and say what this means. I've done it. So please understand, I'm not calling you out. When I say genuine narratives, that's going back to the power of storytelling. Storytelling is in our DNA, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, your DNA tells a story about previous generations. So storytelling is in our bloodline, okay? So when we talk about generic content, that means long gone are the days, you guys have seen it, where people will create videos and they're just walking. See their nice shoes, sometimes it's their red bottoms, and they're just walking and it's words on a screen. You're walking into a door, you're walking out of a door. I get it, right? And sometimes you can create content that works, but we can't just rely on that content. It's not going to cut it anymore. People have seen enough of that. They're just like, no, I want the real deal. I've seen enough of that. And I need your narrative and your story. So, how do you achieve this? I want to share just 3 things with you really quick about understanding about how marketing is now becoming hyper personal. Number 1, we have to dive into a deeper understanding of your audience like never before. I read a quote one day that said, you should know your audience so well, you can write a page in their journal. Someone post that, someone tweet that. You should know your audience so well that you can write a page in their journal. Do you know them that well? While data is valuable, engaging in real conversations with them is equally essential. So we have to dive into a deeper understanding of our audience, number 1. Number 2, fine tune your brand voice. If your brand doesn't have a sound, notice I said isn't making noise. I did a teaching I think it was last week, and I was telling the audience there's a difference between sound and noise. I will never encourage you. You got to make some more sound. No, excuse me. You got to make some more noise. I will never encourage that. I will encourage you releasing a sound because it's the sound that draws people. Noise repels. And there's a lot of noise in the online space. And this is why you have to understand who you are as a communicator to release your unique sound. Because there are people who are connected to your sound. Your sound. Don't come on here try to sound like me. That's such a disservice to your audience and to your creator who gave you your sound. My friend, the comments are moving so fast. Clarine says, I agree 100%. Elevate the human centric content, especially as AI generated content continues to gain traction. Yes. Cher Jones says, that's why live broadcasts and live audio shows are so important. It's hard to fake your knowledge and your ability to apply it in real time and real talk. Yes and amen. This is why I will always say live video, because you get to understand who the fakers are, who the real deal. Seriously. You get to understand that. So, and then my final thing is, which is what I've learned as a journalist, and I say this to every new reporter who comes into the newsroom, and now I'm saying it to you all. You ready for it? Cultivate curiosity. Remain curious. Because when you remain curious, it often leads to valuable insights. Curiosity. I don't know what happened as adults and we stopped, being curious, but why is that? I wonder if anybody else feels this way. I wonder if anybody else has had this problem. I wonder if anybody else has thought about this. Remaining curious is what is going to keep you and keep your marketing at the top. All right. Next, we kind of touched a bit on this already, and I'm really excited because Cher talked about this, and we're going to go ahead and bring this up. It is audio is on the rise. The prominence of audio content is on the upswing, enhancing both inclusivity and utility. As voice activated devices and smart speakers continue to dominate, audio content is poised to play a pivotal role in how people access information. This is why you're going to constantly see these live these live audio rooms rather. You're going to see podcasting increasing. So by integrating audio, you not only make your content more convenient, but you also make it accessible to a wider audience. Think about those who are visually impaired. You also give those who are readers an opportunity to consume your content while they're on the move. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why the audio rooms on Clubhouse took off during the pandemic, because we were craving interaction, we were craving connection. And while you are cooking breakfast, while you are working from home, you can have a Clubhouse or audio room open and you can still engage in that way. So think about how you can use audio in your experience, in your visibility. Is that creating a podcast? Or, you ready for this? Here's an idea. Maybe you're sitting here saying, Rashonda, I cannot create any more things. I don't have the capacity for a podcast. I don't have the capacity for doing that. Okay, well, what about you become a guest on other people's podcasts? I mean, there's plenty of podcasts that I've done where I've asked them, as a guest, can I get a copy of that audio and repurpose it for my audience, turning into additional content? So when you think about this audio piece, yes, it would be great to create your own live audio rooms here on LinkedIn. It'll be great to create your own podcast, taking some videos that you have, like what I'm doing this live stream, and just stripping it and just putting the audio out there. But if that is just too much, but you want to be able to put your voice out there in a very authentic way, why not create, I don't know, a podcast tour? We did this with one of our clients, which means you are booking yourself on podcasts. And then you take that content and you repurpose it for audio. The possibilities are endless. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how many podcast audios that I have. It's well over 30. Well over 30. And I have them just situated, and we're going to repurpose them and use those with our clients. It's a win-win. Next, more media, less social. Listen, I've been emphasizing this point for years. I've been telling you guys, and in these digital streets and doing some research and preparing, oh my gosh, I was so glad to see this. Okay. Listen to this. As a business owner and expert, what we often do on social media is shifting away from purely being social, and it's evolving more into a media driven approach. I've said it for many years. Much of what we're doing as business owners is less social, more media. Drop the social and amplify the media. That means, you ready for this? Our social media channels are gradually becoming media distribution networks like YouTube and TikTok. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you didn't know this, but if you are creating consistent content, what you are doing, my friend, what you are doing is you are a producer. If you are creating content and you are showing up in front of that content, you are a type of reporter or anchor. So your LinkedIn is a distribution channel. Your YouTube channel is a distribution channel. What would happen if we just changed our mindset and we started treating our social like a media channel? It's your local CBS, NBC, PBS affiliate. What would happen to your visibility? I'll tell you what's going to happen is that you will start showing up differently because you understand what you're producing, and it will start to produce differently for you. Do you know that a lot of your video content is now searchable? Like if you typed your name into Google, some of your video content will show up. So thinking like a producer, this is some of what we teach our clients, in a distinct category helps you to be seen, heard, and paid. Thinking like a producer. That means you have to shift your mindset in how you show up online for success. This means you have to decide. You ready for it? Am I a consumer or a producer? Am I a person who's always scrolling on social media? Consumer, taking it in. Or I'm the person who's producing the content for this consumer and getting paid. Because one of those people are getting paid and someone is not. One of those people are getting speaking opportunities and the other one is not. It's the producer. So understanding that I have to show up in my mindset, you ready for this? As a producer and not consumer. This is why, Denise, I don't get when people are sitting here telling me, like, I don't have anything to post. I don't know what to talk about. What? You just scrolled all day. I love it. Say it. You're a producer. You're right. You're producing content. You guys, when I think about speaking engagements in the last couple of years, man, it has come from people seeing my content and seeing my live streams. And they have said, we saw your live video. And we were like, wow, if she is doing this, speaking to herself, that's how they think. I'm speaking to myself. They don't know I'm talking to all of you. Then, man, what would it be like to have her on the stage? Because someone's scrolling, someone's flipping on the TV. This smartphone is your new remote control. I love what Cher says. Come on, Cher. My friend says, I'd rather be uploading than scrolling. That part. Now, I'm not saying don't hang out on social and look at the funny videos, but I'm telling you, I'm not going to be scrolling more than I'm posting. I'm not going to be scrolling more than I am controlling my own narrative. You guys, the gatekeepers are gone. Cher and I both have worked in television, right? I've worked in TV for 20 years. I am telling you, the gatekeepers are gone. They're gone. So just imagine during the pandemic, all of us were on the same playing field. All of us. Because Tamron Hall, The Late Show, The Tonight Show, all of those folks had to do what? Learn how to live stream from home. So now that TV has changed a little bit, now you're just like, they're more open to you doing an interview via Zoom. Yeah, Nicole, it could be a great tool or a great master. And I've learned, and I'm constantly checking myself, it won't master me. And sometimes you need to take a break, right? But yeah, it's the new remote control, and there's no gatekeepers. So why would I not learn how to use this? That's right, to create TV on my own terms. You kidding me? Some of you have always wanted to be on TV. You dreamed of having your own talk show. Guess what? It's in the palm of your hand, but you keep playing Candy Crush on it. It's real talk. You've talked about, man, I've always wanted to be on stages and I've always wanted to be a speaker, but nobody's calling me. Oh, I can build my own platform on my phone, but you're looking at cat videos. I'm a firm believer of using what's already in your hand. And the tools are in your hand. But what are you going to do with it? And here's the thing. Let me just confront this. For some of you, you scroll and you complain. And I know what you're saying. I cannot believe people are buying this. This is not even true. This is not how you manage your money. This is not how you have success in life. I mean, they're lying to people. Well, guess what? People don't have another option because you haven't shown up. Share, or worse yet, you're watching others do what you want to do. Just do it. That part. You're seeing the wicked and unrighteous prosper. You're mad about it because you're just like, this is a wolf in sheep's clothing. These people are not real, blah, 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 blah. But you're not doing anything. I mean, I know you guys didn't come for a Bible study, but I can't help myself. So Romans 10, chapter 10, I believe, Romans 10 and 10 talks about how will they know unless a preacher is sent? When you look up the definition of preacher in that sense, it's basically just talking about a messenger. How will they know unless a messenger is sent? Do you know everybody's preaching on TikTok? They're preaching about the universe, whether you like it or not. They're preaching about how you can be financially stable. They're preaching about how to create content. They're preaching about, hey, buy my product. Everybody's preaching but you. And you're mad because they understand that they're a preacher, that they're a messenger. They may not call themselves a preacher, but they understand that they're a messenger, but you have not grasped that term yet. And that yet here you are, yet another year. Do not, I love you, Cher. Do not let another year come and go. If I could just take you guys into my personal time of meditation and prayer, for you just to understand, we don't have any more time. And I'm understanding that there's a lot of years behind me than what may be in front of me. And I know some of you are saying, well, Rashonda, I mean, it's not like you're 70. Yeah, but do you guys understand how quick this year went by? I mean, it's the new year next week. What are we talking about here? Yeah, there's no more time to be playing small. Small for what? Everybody else is playing big, and some of them are playing big when they are fronting and lying and all of the things. And here you are with the goods playing small. I mean, we don't have any more time. Christina Shear, good to see you, sis. We don't have time. I went on a tangent on that one. Okay, let me give you guys the bonus and then I'm going to take some questions here. The bonus is DM chat funnels. My friend Brody Pearson shared this brilliant concept with me. I was in California with him and I asked him, I said, Brody, what are your predictions for marketing in 2024? And he talked about DM chat funnels. Many of you have experienced this. This is where there's a prompting of someone asking you to comment a specific word to receive a valuable guide or research. For example, hey, if you like what we're talking about tonight, make sure to drop the word talk and we'll send you the notes of this. That's not going to happen, so don't do it. That's just an example, okay? This strategy, according to Brody, he was telling me, has been remarkably effective. You see a lot on Instagram because it not only boosts your engagement, but it aligns with the idea that people prefer purchasing from businesses with whom they've had a meaningful conversation with. Shalene Johnson is amazing. If you don't follow her on IG, she does a lot of this in her stories. Like, this is my favorite vitamin. Just drop me the word magnesium and I'll send you the information. So a lot of the companies that they're using, I'm not an affiliate for this. I think it's ManyChat. I think that's the one that a lot of people use, and it just kind of automates this process of people having a conversation with you. So we shared a lot tonight. We talked about a lot of different things, and I hope you guys took notes, but the replay will be up. Which strategy are you going to implement? Which one were you just like, oh my gosh, you were all in my business, Ro? Like, which one are you just like, I am just going, this is the one I'm going to do? What is it? Let me know which one that you're going to do. And a reminder, remember, we are focusing on communication and supporting you in becoming an effective communicator in 2024. So remember, text the keyword talk to 803-879-5217 to get on our text list to find out about our upcoming program in the new year. I'm really excited, and man, I'm just telling you, just so many downloads and things that I've been receiving about this to help you feel confident in your presentation skills, whether it's doing a live video, creating video content, emceeing an event, or hitting the stage speaking, or just talking to your team. I'm really excited about that. So tell me, which strategy are you going to use going forward to increase your visibility in the new year? Let's see. Heather says, the Bible study lesson woke me up. I'm committed to thinking like a producer in 2024. I love it, Heather. I love it. Willa will watch the replay. Meeting ran over. Nonetheless, the DM chat has been on my to-do list. Yes, yes, yes. Who else? What are you going to implement? Because I believe action cures all. And I love that for you, Nicole. The podcast tour. Let's do it, right? People are always looking for podcasts. Let's do it. Share regular podcasting and private podcasting in place of webinars. Ooh. I've been seeing a lot of people doing the private podcasting share, and I'm very intrigued by that. And because I know you personally and I have your number, I'm going to look to see how that works for you. I love the information about that. All right. What else? What are we going to do? What are we going to implement? Because we have to take action. It's not enough to just write all these things down. And yes, I shared about 8 or 9 things with you. Just pick one. What's like one thing that you said, you know what? I'm going to focus on this, whether it's the first quarter or the entire year, but I'm going to take some time and I'm going to focus on this. Pitching to be on, okay? And I think you said maybe podcast, pitching to be on podcast. I think that's what you're talking about, D. I love it. Listen, people are always looking for podcasts. I remember I had a client who did a daily podcast. Talk about the discipline to do that. Okay? Yes, pitching to be on more podcasts. I love it. Lori Smith, live videos. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, ma'am. And because you're my client, I'm going to hold you even more accountable. I love it. Michelle, showing up more on LinkedIn consistently and live videos publicly and in my group. Yes, Michelle, I want to see you more on live videos. Michelle and I go way back to our Periscope days. Hey, dust it back off and come back out. I love it. Yes, girl, daily. So what's my excuse? Chanel, commit to being a producer. Yes. I'm going to continue creating value-based content with an emphasis on more consistent native videos. You go, girl. I love it. Tam, more personal live videos, not only products. Yeah, right. It's 80-20 rule. It's if you're always selling, then people start to become tone deaf. So it's like, show people how you use the product. Tell people your why story, why you love the product. There's so many different ways to do that. Daily share, daily for a whole year. She's my hero. Thanks to you, I've learned that I need to be on more podcasts. I love it. Yes, D. And I would even dare say your clients and the people that you want to serve are listening to those podcasts. Naomi Washington, getting back into my podcasting to develop engaging my authentic voice from our audience. Also, live video. Yes, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. We had one question. And again, if you have any questions, you guys let me know. Post those here. We had one question from Nicole. Nicole, I'm glad that you're here. Would you recommend practicing before going live for the first time? Getting comfortable seems to be the hardest part. This is such a great question. And yes, Nicole, I do recommend that. One of the things that, one of the reasons in the work that I've done, and even in my own visibility work in building my camera confidence, I find that the reason why people find it hard to get comfortable because when you're doing this, this is the first time you hear your voice. Think about it. You're engaging with your spouse, your loved one, your coworkers, your colleagues, your children, your best friend. You're not usually listening to your voice. So you're hearing your voice for the first time, totally freaky. And then you're also seeing yourself for the first time like, why does my eye do that? Oh my gosh, my eyebrows don't, they don't match. All of these things, you're seeing all of these things highlighted and magnified. So one of the things I talk about is practicing in the mirror because we're already looking at ourselves as we're brushing our teeth. And sometimes that's really just talking out loud and getting used to hearing your voice and getting used to your quirks and being okay with showing your quirkiness and all the things. I mean, if you watch the video at the beginning, I mean, my banner was off and someone called me out on it. I'm glad Dan did. And he said, hey, I know you're going to repurpose this video, fix your thing. Hey, glad that he did. So it's like getting used to all of those things that make up who you are. So it's a great experience for people are here. So yes, I do recommend practice. And as my daughter taught me when she's in middle school, practice makes permanent, not perfect. Look at that. Pamela says, producer, business videos. I love it. Dee says, I have a new talk called Money Talks and two other financial people will be live in January. You go, girl. I love it. Christina says, sending videos to my friends and Marco Polo helped me to get more comfortable on camera. Great tip, Christina. Thank you for sharing that. That's a good one. And also, many of the platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram have an opportunity for you to play with the go live feature, but not go live publicly. So you could actually go live privately just to get used to seeing yourself on camera, just to get used to all of the bells and whistles and all of those things. I love it. Who else? What are we doing? Anybody else want to share? I love this. You guys have been such a great audience, like seriously. And this has just been such my pleasure doing this. I look forward to doing this every single year. And the thing about it is, I'm rooting for you. I really believe that 2024 is a breakout year. I really believe that 2024 is a game-changing year. I believe that. I mean, that may sound like a cliche, but it's not, my friend. I believe that those of us who have just been putting in the work, putting in the work, putting in the work, we're going to start to see it pay off as we go into this year. And there's going to be so many opportunities. You guys, let me just be very transparent. Many of you know that I have a LinkedIn learning course, how to be seen and heard as a video creator. It's 1 year old, well, almost 1 year old. And so many people inbox me and ask me, Rashonda, how can I get an opportunity like that to work with LinkedIn? How do I get to do what you've done with LinkedIn? All of those things. And here's what I'm finding out, Cher. This is what I'm finding out, Willa Marie. Those folks are not even creating content. And one of the things that you have to understand when you're working with a platform, whether it's LinkedIn, it's Google, Facebook, Meta, anybody else, they're going to ask, are you already creating content? In fact, that opportunity to work with LinkedIn, one of the requirements is I had to send them, they had to see me on camera. I had to send them one of my videos. I either had to create the video or I sent them my YouTube video. I sent a video for my YouTube channel. Why? Because they want to see that you're already doing the thing because they don't have time to teach you. And I'm seeing so many of you missing out on golden opportunities. There's companies who are hiring content creators. There are companies who want to work with people, but they want to know that you're already doing the thing, that you're already being seen, you're already being heard, you're already doing the thing. Not about having a large audience. It's about the fact of you already are putting your hand on the thing that you want to do. You want to do more podcasts? Okay. Do the first one. Do the first one. Knock it out the park. And even if you don't knock it apart, dust yourself off, figure out what didn't work, and then get back in there and do it again. And do it again. And do it again. You guys, I just keep doing it again. I just keep showing up and I just keep doing it again and again and again and again. And this is why opportunities to speak in Paris, France, work with LinkedIn, work with Kellogg, Boeing, really great entrepreneurs. I just keep doing it again. I did it when it was one person showing up for a live video. I did it when it was over 100 people showing up for a live video. I've done it when it was just 2 people. I've just kept doing the thing because eventually one will turn into one more because he's a God of multiplication. But you have to get started. Stop burying your talent. Go multiply your talent and stop burying it. Cher says, yes, I believe and receive that. 2024 is my year of expansion, breakout year. I believe that for you, friend. I'm believing that. I've already claimed 2024 as my overflow year. That's right. Will of facts. How are you teaching more than you're doing? Run that back. Come on. Experts have receipts that we can immediately provide. We are not new to this. We are true to this. Come on. Resume. What's your digital resume showing? I love it. Everyone has to put their reps in, and it's as easy as just doing the thing, then doing it again and again. I love that, Cher. Absolutely true, Rashonda. Dust yourself off and do it again. Let the church say amen. On that note, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for being a part of my State of Visibility address. Thank you to those of you watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm so grateful that you are here. Listen, the replay will be up. Check out the replay. Do me a favor, share this out with some of the people in your community, with other business colleagues, so that way they can know some of the forecasts and some of the predictions and get a little word that we shared on tonight as well. I am praying and believing God's best for you, that 2024 is crowned with his goodness and his loving kindness, that he's already going before you in 2024 and making crooked places straight, that he's already speaking your names in rooms that you have not even entered in yet, my friend. 2024 is your breakout year. It's your game-changing year, and I'm believing that big. Listen, my name is Rashonda Pratt, known in the digital streets as The Rose Show Live, communication strategist and content producer, helping you to be seen, heard, and paid because your visibility is power. Thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast. And again, we'll talk to you soon. Happy holidays and see you in 2024. God bless.
It's The Rose Show, CEO of Live Video. It's The Rose Show, CEO of Live Video.